All right, guys. So the new year is right around the corner, and a lot of you are interested in getting stronger, getting jacked, getting as aesthetic as possible, all these sorts of things. So I'm going to outline how I'm going to set up my training to do that, and what you could do as well if you're interested in that. If you're interested in just getting jacked, getting strong, just being better in 2024. So this is obviously different than what I'm doing currently because right now I'm training for that 100-mile race in June in the mountains of Wyoming. So doing an hour and a half to 2.5 hours of cardio 6 days per week is not going to be sustainable for most folks over the long term. That's just, even for me, I'm looking forward to after June not having to do so much cardio. But this is basically what I'll do after June to kind of segue into a more balanced approach where I can sustain this long term, be healthier, continue to keep my weight in check in a good range where I feel, strong and I'm still lean, and just all around have the best balance as far as all that goes. Because right now I'm 202 pounds. So I would like to stay as close to this weight as possible, even after all the training for the race when there's no races on the horizon per se. So this is kind of how I'm going to set things up come that time to have a more sustainable approach. And this is going to be 6 days per week of working out, which may sound somewhat daunting on paper, but you can make this very efficient to where it's really not a massive time commitment or massive inconvenience from your lifestyle. So Monday would be upper body lifting. So lifting wise, we're going to break this down into 3 to 4 days is going to be the way I would do this. So I would do upper body lifting on Mondays and Fridays. And then I would do lower body lifting on either Tuesday and Saturday, or I would do it on just Saturday. So this is going to make it to where you either have 1 to 2 lower body days and 2 upper body days. And why do we have more upper body days? Because upper body just isn't as taxing. I could do bench and push downs and curls and all this rear delt raises, lateral raises till the cows come home. And it's not going to take anywhere near as long to recover from as, say, deadlifts and squats, split squats, back extensions, that sort of thing. So that may be why you'd rather go with that one lower body day. Now, you're going to have to be more efficient as far as what you put in on that day. So if you're doing the one day, you might want to do squats and deadlifts. And that might be it. That might be enough stimulation to where you're completely taxed after that. You've put an hour in the gym and you're ready to go home, move on. That could be an option. Some of you guys who want to train longer, you could do squat and bench, back extensions. You could hit a lat specific movement like a chest supported row on that day as well. That's kind of how I would make that up if I was doing one lower body session, which is probably where I'll go. Now, if you're doing 2, you could make a squat day and then you could make a deadlift day. So you could do squats on Tuesday, deadlift on Saturdays, and then you could throw your accessories in after that. But that would be the basic premise of what we would do with the lower body training. With the upper body training, I would kind of make it where one day, well, honestly, I would make it both days, the main lift be a bench variation. So, bench responds to specificity and volume. So I would go with bench on both of these days to start out in some form or another, even if it's incline bench or banded bench. But I would start out with bench. And then one day I would do overhead press. Another day I would do maybe dips because I like these a lot. These have a good carryover to bench. They make you look jacked, period. They're just the best bang for your buck. Now, if you have more options at your gym, if you have like a pec deck, if you have a seated chest press machine, all sorts of different stuff, you can incorporate that kind of as your B tier accessory movements. But your A tier accessory movement, you're probably going to want to go with like overhead press or dips. And then the B tier movements, you can rotate machine-based movements, dumbbell-based movements. I would throw in a rear delt exercise on both of these days to keep the shoulders healthy, keep the rotator cuffs healthy, and kind of even out the benching. So I would go high reps on these, not too worried about the weight. And if you're just trying to get jacked, you have to do lateral raises. Lateral raises, I know there was a video, I may have to comment on Natural Hypertrophy. He did a video about lateral raises and how I didn't watch the whole video yet, so I'm not going to go into the context of it. But for me personally, I found lateral raises to be very effective at building that 3D cap delt look. I think that's really a key. So I'm big on those. I would go with a curl variation. Curls, as far as the biceps, they respond very well again to just a high volume, high amount of stimulus. But I've even found, you don't have to train biceps 5 days a week. You can get plenty of growth on your biceps just hitting them hard with a lot of volume 2 days a week. So that's the approach I would take there as well. But that's kind of how I would set up the lifting aspect of things. And then, at the end of the day, guys, you got to look out for your heart health. You want to be lean. You want to look good. You want to feel good. You want to be performing optimally. You got to do some form of cardio. Now, I'm not saying go out there and become a runner. I'm not saying become a marathon runner, ultra marathon runner, any of that. But I would do cardio then 2 days a week. I would either throw it in on Wednesday and I would do it Wednesday and maybe even Saturday. So Wednesday, Saturday could be an option. You could do a Tuesday, Saturday option, something like that. But I would throw in cardio 2 days a week. And even 45 minutes, I think, is enough for 2 days a week. If you can up the ante and do 3 days, you could maybe cut that down to 30 minutes. But overall, I would be trying to get an hour and a half of cardio in per week in the form of, it could be anything. It could be the elliptical. It could be the stair climber. It could be treadmill. It could be running. It could be whatever you want. Just find a sustainable approach that works for you. Try to get your heart rate, I would say, in that 130 beats per minute range, right around there, 130 to 140. That's going to be a good fat burning range around, upper zone 2, low zone 3, in my opinion. So I would do that. You're going to get a lot of benefits. You're going to burn body fat. You're going to be healthier. Your resting heart rate's going to go down. Your blood pressure is going to go down. Your lipids like LDL, apolipoprotein B, are going to go down. Glucose, insulin. So there's a lot of biomarkers that are going to go down. And then you're just going to be more cut. So if you want the look where you can see the muscles better, you can see the veins, you can see everything kind of popping out, throw in the cardio. There's really nothing to lose there. And it's something I wish I kind of incorporated sooner. So for myself, what I'll probably do is I'll probably run 2 days per week after this race, this 100-miler. And that will be the sustainable amount, in my opinion, to where I can balance out the lifting, I can balance out the running, and I can still have a life. And really, you can make these sessions to where they're more time efficient, and you can get the lifting done in an hour and 15 minutes, upwards of maybe an hour and a half. And if you're only doing that 3 days a week, that's not so bad, even 4. And then the runs and the cardio, like I said, 30 to 45 minute sessions. So there might be one day where you have to double up, but for the most part, you're not spending an eternity doing this. It's a sustainable approach that you're less likely to burn out on, because that's one of the biggest things. A lot of guys I see find a program, or they find a certain amount of volume, they do things a certain way, but it's not sustainable because they burn out. So you have to look past that. Like, yeah, maybe you can sustain it for a couple months, even you could, maybe 3 months you can sustain it, but at that point, is it going to be sustainable? Then you have to practice habits that you're going to be able to continually do. So that would be the thing I would caution against, as far as biting off more than you can chew in the new year. You just want to make it to where you can convert this into a lifestyle and have an efficient approach, rather than just kind of going after something that's going to be there for the short term. And it's okay to have short-term goals. I do as well with the 100-mile race, obviously, but you want to plan something out that's going to last for you. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in coaching, shoot me an email at prstrength1@gmail.com. Check out my sponsor, Barbell Apparel. Got the Bromley shirt on. I freaking love the Bromley shirt. I've got a Bighorn shirt that I co-designed with them, so check that out and support that. If you want to pick up one of those, I think they're doing till the end of the year, still $99 off. Or it's like on any order of $99 or more, you get a free hoodie that's like worth $88. So check that out. They support me, they support the channel, and I hope you guys like this video. Hopefully that clears some things up. Let me know if you have any questions about things, and we'll keep rolling with the channel in 2024.